All right, I'm going to show you how to create a contact sheet after you have taken pictures of the elements of composition. The elements of composition are in Canvas. So let me just show you quickly where they are. And I'm going to create photos in a contact sheet so you know exactly what your assignment can look like after you're done, what a contact sheet looks like. So bear with me for a minute. So I'm going to go to Canvas. All right. And we are in A3 commercial photography. This is your class. I'm just starting to get this formatted, so keep that in mind. Okay, we are going to go to modules. We want quarter 3, week 1. Here it is, gradebook elements of composition. You're going to take a photo that represents each of the following elements of composition: simplicity, emphasis, rule of thirds, main subject on a line, rule of thirds, main subject on an intersection, worm's eye, bird's eye, leading lines, and forced perspective. You're going to rename the first part of your pictures, create a contact sheet, and save it as PDF. So that is what we are going to go over today. I have here your memory card. When you get your memory card, the first thing I want you to do is click twice slowly on the name. It will say no name, and I want you to put your class period. So I'm doing this for 1B, and your first name. That way, if you forget your memory card, I know whose it is exactly. After you take the pictures, you're going to have pictures on here, and I will show you how to get them onto your computer once you get the pictures taken. Okay, and you're going to create a folder on your desktop by right-clicking, clicking New Folder, and then titling it something that's meaningful. So this is elements of composition. And then you're going to, when you open this, you're going to keep going until you get your pictures. Then you're going to open this, slide it down, select all of these, drag it down here. I will show you that later after you get your pictures. Okay, I already have a folder out here for elements of composition right here. And I'm going to show you how to get to here. Okay, so I'm going to open Bridge. We are going to get Bridge and Photoshop on your computers in another video. I'll show you that later. So I'm going to open Bridge. I want this upper right-hand corner as big as possible. Select Essentials. I'm going to Desktop, looking for my folder, Elements of Composition. And I've got all the pictures in here I need. When I rename them, I'm going to click on the left side till it turns light blue. I'm going to give it the number in which it appears in here. So the first one is Simplicity. So Simplicity is going to be 1. And when you see it, it's going to look like iOS 756 or something like that. That's what it's going to look like. So you click here, give it the number it appears in the list, and the name of what it is. So this is number 1, Simplicity. Don't do anything to the part after the dot. That will compromise your folder or file. So after you get all of them named, you'll see them appear in the order they're going to appear in your contact sheet. They should also appear in the list that they are in the gradebook assignment right here. Then you're going to select them all. You can do Command A to select them all, or you can click and drag and select them all. Then I want to minimize this so it's not in the way. Then you're going to go Tools, Photoshop, Contact Sheet 2. And if you look at the directions for the assignment, contact sheet is 6 inches high, 4 inches wide, 200 pixels per inch, 2 columns, 4 rows. So 6 inches, so it's 4 inches wide, 6 inches high, 200 pixels per inch, 2 columns, 4 rows. You do want to use file name because you rename them, and this will label your pictures. Hit OK. And there is your contact sheet. So you'll see under each picture, it's labeled what it is. And because I put the numbers beforehand, it comes out in the order it appears on the list. You do not have to have the crisscross or the tic-tac-toe lines on the rule of thirds. I'm just showing those as an example of what they are. So going over these again, simplicity is where there's only one object in the picture to make it very simple and clear. This is something we're going to use later for metaphors. 2, emphasis is where there's something light next to dark, which makes one of them pop. So the red apple next to the green apples. Rule of thirds on a line is when the main subject falls on a line of the rule of thirds grid. Rule of thirds on the intersection is when the main subject where you want your eyes to go falls on the intersection or the crisscross of the grid. Worm's eye is if a worm steals your camera and takes the picture with the camera tilted up. Bird's eye is when a bird steals your camera and takes a picture with the camera lens pointing down. Leading lines is like 1-point perspective in art. So the things you're looking at get smaller and closer together as they get further away. And forced perspective is one you're going to need to set up. The main subject and the background both need to be in focus. I can show you how to set that up. And the two are going to be pretty far away, but look like they're next to each other and make a weird, quirky picture. So in this example, the people crouching are probably 20 or 30 feet behind the actual main subject, but it looks like he's crushing little people. Okay, then to save this, you go to File, Save As. You're going to save it on your computer. You're going to name it something relevant so you can find it later. I am going to call this Elements of Composition. Saving it on my computer so it's easy to find. Save to my computer. Okay, I want to save it on my desktop. I want this to be a Photoshop PSD file because a PDF, because the PDF is the format you're turning this in as. It's the only format that I will take on Canvas. I'm going to hit save, say okay, save, and yes, and you should see it appear over here. Before you close out Photoshop, I would click on you can minimize this, but don't close it. You can also get rid of this because we don't need bridge anymore. And I would click on the PDF to make sure it opens. And it opens, so now it is ready to turn in. Then you just turn it in and the assignment is done.